What's going on, guys? My name is Adrian. I am currently building my own NFT project, and right now, this week, I have actually been working on raising money for my NFT project. And so I wanted to make this quick video about, how you decide how much money you need to raise for your project and how to decide the returns for people who want to invest in your project. So yeah, let's go ahead and get to it. Okay, so really quickly before we get started, my name is Adrian, and if you are new to this channel, I am building my very own NFT project. There's a lot of steps involved, a lot of things to think about, and so if you want to go ahead and learn more about how to build your own project, go ahead and subscribe down below. I'm documenting this, the entire process, and so if you want to learn more and see how I do, please subscribe, and we'll see. Now let's go to the video. Okay, so you went ahead and came up with a really good idea for an NFT project. And so normally you can actually have everybody on your team to work for free, and then you all work really hard together to have a huge payout at the end. But obviously, not everyone's going to agree to do that. So, for example, with me, I actually had to hire an artist and pay him up front. I had to pay him $6,000 up front. We're actually paying him incrementally, so 2,000 when he starts, 2,000 in the middle, and 2,000 when he finishes. Um, but yeah, so if you're in a situation like me where you don't have everybody working towards an end goal to make a lot of money at the end, then you got to raise some money. And so on top of the $6,000 that we spent on our artist, we're also spending $2,000 on the NFT Academy Pass. I'm pretty sure that if you're watching this video, you know what that is. But if not, it's just an exclusive Discord channel of people who are trying to build their own NFT project. But yeah, so let's go ahead and discuss, all the different things that you might need money for and how you can raise it. Okay, so when it comes to figuring out how much money you need, it's really anywhere from like $10,000 to $100,000. It really depends on how big of a team you're looking to get for the artwork, for the marketing, and how many developers you might need if you wanted to get really fancy. But we're not going to go into like the heavy duty stuff like that. We're going to go into some really basic stuff. So for me, you can find an upfront artist, on Fiverr, for example, for about $3,000 for a 10,000 2D art collection. But for me, I wanted somebody who's a 3D artist and could also do some animation, and so he's going to cost me $6,000. When it comes to marketing, we don't actually know how much we're going to have to throw money at marketing, and so I've seen people throw like $40,000, $60,000 at marketing. So our budget is about between $5,000 and $10,000. We're going to do our best to grow organically, but when it comes to upfront costs, it's usually just whether or not you're willing to invest in a really big team to make sure that everything looks ridiculously good, or if you're really just trying to get yourself out there and just build the project like I am. Okay, so you have some upfront costs that you need to pay. I have $6,000 I need to pay right now. I actually just paid the first batch this morning. And so, to be quite honest, the best way to raise money is by talking to friends and family. Unless you have a venture capitalist that you can go to and just pitch your idea, friends and family is truly the best way to do it. These people are going to want to help you. I mean, they're your friends, they're your family. They're going to invest in you. And so I want to go ahead and actually tell you, what are the things that you should say so that, your family isn't just completely laughing at you saying, why would I give you some money? You have to give them some incentive, and you got to make sure that you're pitching the idea well enough to, make them want to give you money. Love is about, 80% of the way there, but it's not going to give you all the money that you need. And so here's some ideas that I have. Okay, so the first thing you're really going to have to do when you're going over and going to your buddy's house or your family, and asking them for money is you're likely going to have to teach them what an NFT is. And so be ready for that, obviously. The biggest thing to make clear is that it's a very volatile market, and so they are kind of gambling on you, essentially, right? And so it's a very high risk, high reward type of thing. And so as long as you make that very clear, and come up with an idea or a plan for them to make a lot of money in a short amount of time of 2 to 3 months, then they're going to be on board, because there's no other opportunity in the market to 10x your money in 2 to 3 months. And so you're presenting that with them, and they're going to look at you and think, okay, does this guy have the ability to sell an idea for an NFT project enough to convince enough people to buy his NFTs? And if so, at how much money do I get back if he sells out completely, if he sells out a certain percentage or whatever. So I think I came up with a pretty good plan that I'll go ahead and share with you guys at the end of this video. Okay, so it's really important that you are fully transparent when you are asking these people for money. Like for example, I'm taking all the money through Venmo. There's no contract involved, and they just trust me. And so as long as you're taking the money and I'm actually writing down every single expense that I have with their money. And so being honest, trust me, you don't want this to bite you in the ass. Also, you don't want to be changing up what the returns are for different people for the same investment. That's really going to hurt you. I almost did that. I actually considered it because somebody wouldn't do it unless I gave them a higher return. But ultimately, in the end, you shouldn't be doing that. But I did come up with an idea for this guy who did want higher returns, and so that'll be part of the plan that I'll show at the end of this video. Okay, so you need to be really good at pitching your idea. Again, it's not that important for you to pitch an idea and convince them that, this idea will hold, because it's an NFT project and most NFT projects will fail. You just need to be good enough because they need to know that you're going to be able to sell this idea to other people, because then no one's going to want to invest and say, okay, I'm going to get 2 times my money back if he does this. They are looking for the maximum reward, and so they are looking for, okay, is this guy going to sell out the collection? And so they want to see you, sell. So you got to get up there. That's right. I did this 2 days ago on Tuesday. Today's Thursday. I pitched to 3 different people in front of me. I got up and, trust me, just practice in front of friends like that and see what kind of feedback you get. But you need to be really good, especially if you're a founder, like I am. You got to get good at pitching and being honest with it. And it'll be really good practice, because if you can pitch it to them and get money from them, it's a pretty good sign that there's a likelihood of, your NFT collection doing well, and that you can sell to other people. That's what they're going to see. And so, yeah, that's something that you should really practice. Let's go to the next idea. Okay, so this is really important. So what I was saying about being transparent, you can't just ask people for money. They're going to ask you, well, where is it going? And if you are asking for $5,000 saying it's for my project and you don't know where exactly that money's going to go, that does not look good. They're going to be like, okay, if you don't have a plan for where the money's going to go, how do you have a plan of execution, and how do you think they're going to feel when you say, well, I don't know where to put it? They're going to feel like they're not getting their money back. So focus, you need to be able to, deliver enough information to convince them that you will get their money back. So for example, with me, I said, okay, I went ahead and found an artist. He cost $6,000, so I need to pay him up front. There's this course I really want to be part of, and there's a huge networking opportunity in there, so I want to pay that. That's $2,000, $8,000 total. We potentially want to use giveaways to help market and bring people over to our Twitter or our Discord. Let's just say $2,000 there, just to make it a pretty $10,000. And then I believe that when it comes to marketing, we're going to do our best to grow organically, but you're likely going to have to throw a good amount of money into marketing to make sure that you are seen, because there are so many NFT projects coming out. So I would say be ready to throw at least $10,000 into marketing. But yeah, so having that kind of layout where you're telling them how much money is going into categories, that's really good. And the reason why that's good is because when I was actually pitching to those 3 friends that I mentioned earlier, one of them was like, I don't know if I want, $1,000 of my money going into some course that I believe most courses are a bunch of BS. And I was like, okay, well, how about I come back to you when I need marketing, if we need it, and then we can make sure that the money that you put in is going towards marketing, which would actually help solve the project. And that makes them feel better. He was like, okay, that actually makes a lot more sense. Yeah, come back to me when I'm ready to give you $1,000 when you're ready to spend some money on marketing. And so being transparent about where the money's going to go, it will make them feel a lot better and a lot more enticed to give you the money. Okay, so on top of that, it's actually really helpful to have a range in mind. Because it's really this is going to be really important to say. Um, you don't want to tell them how much money you want, okay? Because I don't know what you're going to do with that money. You need to tell me how much money do you need, right? Telling you like going back to the transparency thing that I just said, knowing where all the money's going to go. They're going to ask you how much money do you need, and you need to have an answer for that. And not only that, you just shouldn't have the mindset of saying, okay, well, I want $20,000 for this project, because you don't even know where that's going to go. And so having that in mind, at least having a range in mind, like, okay, we need maybe $6,000 to hire some upfront cost for the artist, and like, I don't know, something like that, and then maybe another $10,000 for marketing. We're looking at about random number between 10 and 15,000. And that's good because actually I just got on a call today. So it's pretty helpful that I'm doing this right now. So I got on a call today, and he was like, what are you looking to raise? I said, between 15 and $20,000. He's like, okay, perfect. Yeah. He's like, how about this? How about you let me know at the very end how much you need? I'm willing to put in at least $3,000 and up to $5,000. So let's say if you're at 15K, I'll fill that up all the way to 20,000. If you're at 17, I'll do $3,000. I'm like, great. So then I know that I can get more to somebody, because if you give somebody a range yourself, they'll give you a range. That's always really helpful to know. Okay, so one thing I do want to mention is that I would definitely stay away from, giving equity to investors. So we're going to go ahead and talk about the incentive now. Like, why would anybody, what's the return that somebody could expect from investing in your project? NFT projects are really unique in that, you go from having $0 to millions of dollars potentially, after selling out within minutes if you do extremely well. And so the last thing you want to do is give somebody equity in the company. If you give somebody a 1% for giving you $2,000, and now they have a right to $50,000, that's pretty ridiculous. So don't do equity deals when it comes to investing, unless they have some sort of value to add on top of just money. Maybe they can be part of your project in some way. I would not give out equity. Don't do that. Okay, so really quickly, actually, so there was somebody who really wanted really high returns because of how risky this was, and he wanted like 20 times, which is absolutely absurd. The more I think about it, at the time I was like, okay, maybe, but it's not a good deal. But it actually made me come to realize that, okay, these projects are being pumped out in 2 to 3 months. That means that in 2 to 3 months, somebody could 10x their money. And that's insane. There's no other opportunity in the market for anybody to multiply their money that quickly. So that's some leverage that I learned. Learn how to deliver that in a kind way, and say, listen, this is how much you're gonna make with me if I do really well. Anywhere else you're gonna make a 2x. In the stock market, maybe a 2x. Crypto, if you get this is basically like crypto. But yeah, stand your ground with whatever deal that you are offering to investors. And again, make sure that you're not switching it up for different people. It's going to bite you. Okay, so sorry for making you wait so long for this, but I'm going to go ahead and post, and you can go ahead and either pause this right now. Cool. And so that's the guide that I use. I found it to be the most effective. It helps with getting friends who just kind of want to gamble a little bit. They'll give in a lot of money. Like I had 7 people give me $500 within 2 days pretty easily. The people who want to give thousands of dollars, you're going to have to practice that pitch. And you want to do it really well. If you want to give between $3,000 and $5,000 like I have, yeah, so be prepared. Okay, so that's about it, guys. Again, my name is Adrian. I'm building my very own NFT project. If you want to go ahead and follow and see how much money I end up raising in the very end, and where else I put that money, go ahead and like and subscribe to this video. It really helps the channel a lot. I'd really appreciate it. I'm really curious to see what you guys do with your money, how much you guys raise. I'm sure there's some of you who are raising tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I don't even know where that's going. But I think all of us would love to know. And so please go ahead and comment down below and let me know how much money you've raised, what you're doing with it, and I think it'd be really interesting to see that. So in the next video, I'll go ahead and talk about all the artwork that we're working on. I think it'll be really exciting. And So yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.